Hello everyone, I'm Sarah. I exist, I'm sick. I haven't done any work since maybe the end of July. My ADHD has been executive dysfunctioning a bit too much for my liking. We are going to fix it. This is where we start, with the least amount of work possible, but at least it will make me feel like I've done something. The time has come for me to try and find some beta readers. I should have done this back in April, after I'd actually finished writing the current draft of my novel. We're here now. I am looking for some wonderful volunteers to help beta read my YA Paranormal Fantasy of Stars and Smoke and Other Intangible Things. This novel is in its third draft. I think it's more or less done, but I don't trust my eyes and I don't trust my brain to pick out any issues that this story might have. This is the mock cover for it, because this is how I spend my time instead of writing, designing covers for my books that probably won't ever get used, but creative process. Got to make myself believe I'm doing something productive, right? Of Stars and Smoke and Other Intangible Things is 131,000 words. Sorry, my brain worked a little bit too hard when I was revising in the beginning of the year. Multi-POV and set in a fictional seaside town somewhere in England, because all of my books are set somewhere in England. Very terrible blurb approaching. The most interesting thing in Tala's life are the nights she steals from the dead. But everything changes when she bumps into Anika, a fake psychic who is no longer fake. A vision of the future attempts to pull the two together, but fate causes not only their lives, but the lives of 3 others to come crashing together. Now this group of strangers have no choice but to work together, as a mysterious man in black manipulates things from the ever-growing shadows. Anika saw the end of the world, and Tala is at the heart of it. Fate demands they stop it from happening, whatever the cost. There's nothing I hate more than trying to describe what my books are about, because I either under-describe or over-describe, and for someone who's supposed to be good at words, why is doing a blurb or a query letter or anything like that more difficult than actually writing the book itself? Someone please explain it to me like I'm 5, because it just does not compute. There are 3 main areas of critique and feedback that I'm going to be looking for in this draft, and that is character arc, plot, and pacing. Because I have this weird thing, which was very nicely pointed out to me during the beta of my second draft, where I didn't explain things well enough in the story itself, because when I was revising it, I had that information in my head. So I knew the answers to the questions that I was posing in the book, and I knew the firm reasonings behind motivations for certain characters in the book, and so it did not compute that I had not written those things into the book itself for other people to learn the reasonings behind all of these things. So they made sense to me because I knew. They did not make sense to other people because I did not state it. This is what I mean by I can't trust my brain to revise, by the way, because my brain fills in the blanks automatically as I'm reading through my novel. So I don't tend to catch stuff like that. It's really bad. Because of the really bad blurb I read out earlier didn't intrigue you, hopefully the first few paragraphs of chapter 1 will. So you're gonna get a little sneak peek, and I'm gonna come a little closer so I can see my screen better. Thank you. Best reader voice on. It started with a dead body. Most of her nights didn't, but Tala enjoyed the ones that did. She perched on the 2nd floor scaffolding, her hand cold as she gripped the metal pole. The corpse below was strangely bright against the darkened wet ground it lay on. Pale, bloated face, twisted limbs, bright red stain on its beige jacket. The homeless man had been easy enough to find. The renovations on the flats near Terring Lane had been abandoned for months now, and the homeless tended to gather there during the colder months. The man had been the only one there when Tala had arrived, bustling about on the very platform she was crouched on. The man hadn't listened to her, not when she had approached him earlier that afternoon in warning, nor when he had shouted obscenities at her a few moments before he had slipped. If she closed her eyes, Tala could see him fall again, could hear the echoed shout that ended too soon, the thump and crack on the pavement when he landed. She had approached him as he lay there, gasping for breath, fingers twitching for all of 30 seconds before he died. The corpse had been warm when she had knelt next to it an hour ago. Tala shoved a hand deep into her coat pocket, fingers closing around the crinkled envelope she had stolen before making her way back up to the scaffolding. She wasn't sure if it was still warm now. She wasn't even sure why she was still here. Maybe because the corpse didn't have anyone else, and Tala could understand that. She had lived that. So maybe she owed it to the once homeless man to wait, so it wouldn't be alone. I felt like I was reading that way too dramatically. But sometimes dramatics help. If any of this has been the least bit intriguing and you would like to volunteer to beta read for me, you can apply using the Google form link in the description box below. The deadline for the beta reads is the 30th of November, which gives you a good couple of months to get through all of the rambly words that I have written. And at the end, there are a few specific questions that I would love for you to answer. I'm using a program called Butterdocs to do all of my revisions this time round. It is a new writing software that I'm currently using and I'm currently really enjoying. I haven't been able to use the revision aspect of it. This is my chance to use that. You do not need an account in order to be able to access the revision draft, and it operates very similar to Google Docs in regards to highlighting and commenting. If any of you are interested in learning a bit more about Butterdocs, I have also linked that down below in the description box. Thank you so much for listening to me ramble. Hopefully I'll be back with an actual video soon. We'll see how it goes. Bye everyone.